Under the watchful eyes of Israeli surveillance towers, construction is picking up on the Syrian side of the Golan Heights. Israel, of course, captured parts of the area from Syria at the end of the Six-Day War in 1967. Now the Syrian government's investing in the area, hoping to lure residents back. From the Golan Heights, Rula Amin reports.
Just meters away from the fence separating Syria from Israel, Syrians are breaking ground. Here in Al-Isha village, a project to build 1,200 housing units, along with all the necessary infrastructure. Most of Al-Isha land fell under Israel's control during the '67 war. Most of its residents fled. Only about 1,000 are left. The local mayor tells us the goal is to bring those residents who are scattered in the capital Damascus and its suburbs back to their land, right at the front line. About 7,000 of them. A gift from Syria's president, Bashar al-Assad, he says. Hilal Shtawi's son lives in Damascus now. Shtawi is sure when the new homes are ready, his son will come home. He has been planting olive trees along the border and is determined to keep them. Right under the nose of Israel's surveillance towers, new earth is being turned on this side of the Golan Heights. The pace of construction here is definitely picking up. Building licenses are easier to get. The government is also investing in improved infrastructure. Work on this water tank continues even during holidays. Observers say Syrian officials have concluded one of the factors that helped Hezbollah during its years of confronting Israel was the fact that villages in southern Lebanon were populated and alive, unlike most of the Golan here. This side of the border was tightly controlled by the Syrians for years, but many of the roadblocks that dotted the way to the borders have been removed recently, and restrictions on people's entry to the Golan have been eased. Hamid Khleifi proudly watches as the final touches are made to his new home. He will be living here with his 15 children and grandchildren. The prospects of war is not deterring him from building.
We are not afraid, we are on the front line. We are like the army that lives here, we're supposed to resist.
For decades, peace at this front between Syria and Israel was best kept. But tension is rising. Early September, Israeli warplanes violated Syrian skies and hit deep into Syrian territory. What was hit is still a mystery, but it made the possibility of war more real than ever. Despite the rising tensions, war is not on these workers' minds. Most of these young men were not even born when the last war broke out in 1973. For these workers, what counts is that in the past few months, there's been plenty of work for them. The exchanged messages between Syria and Israel in the past few months have fluctuated, from threats of war and retaliation to assurances from leaders on both sides of a genuine desire to make peace. But it's not clear yet whether this region is heading towards peace or war, and people here seem to be preparing for both possibilities. Rula Amin, Al Jazeera, on the Golan Heights.